Morning, welcome back to another video, and today is another day of the Zero to Gold Cap Challenge. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so today we are going to be going over basically what I've actually been doing. Now, this is something that I've been wanting to do for a little while. Let's just jump over to our TSM and have a look at what has actually gone about. Yes, I have actually spent all of my gold. So that, without further ado, let's jump over to my mage who has all of those items. Okay, so it comes as no surprise that I was going to be doing something like this. I made a video a while back on what the potential investments are this week and something that you should go by. And pretty much what I've actually decided to do is lead by example. Yep, instead of actually just saying my advice, I've decided, well, if any of you guys are going to actually take the advice, then I'm going to follow suit and lead by example, and then we can all make gold together. So what I've actually done is I have spent all of my gold. I've got about 23,000 left because I've decided to pretty much just buy out a load of things. Now obviously there's a load of stockpiling like in here. Now what the other thing is I've actually done is I've bought a load of mounts. And basically it's because the mounts are very, very cheap at the moment. They're obviously being farmed like crazy because BFA is standard content and it's the current content to be more precise. Now that being the case, I've decided to pick up a few extra additional ones, such as like the Reigns of Poseidus, as it was like super cheap. So we've got like the Reigns of Poseidus, and I spent about 6,000 gold on each of them. Yeah, 6,000 gold, and the current min buyout is about 27,000 gold, or the market value is 11,000 gold. Now I've actually had a look at this, and pretty much I've decided that this one's going to go up in price. I have a funny feeling this one's going to go up in price at like a month or so after Shadowlands, so I decided to screw it, let's do it, and just buy out a load of them, which I have 11 of. Along with that, I actually bought out for 125,000 gold 2 golden main reins. This is the mount that I did a video on a while back where you can get it from Storm Song Valley, and it's at a very low drop chance. And I reckon because not many people will be farming the BFA content when Shadowlands is released, not be the current content, and therefore people will be farming up things like Shadowlands stuff. So I was like, okay, right, we can go with that. And I reckon that because there's less people actually farming up, and the demand for these mounts will be near on the same, if not more. And that is why I was like, the gold will probably increase because the lack of people actually actively farming this, because at the moment everyone's farming something because they're either trying to push that last little bit to the Brutasaur, or they're literally just trying to stockpile a load of gold in order to spend it in Shadowlands for like all the latest gear before the next raid, or potions, flasks, or what have you. So my idea is to buy them out cheap now in order to resell later on. This is basically the premise of my potential investments video, and that was something that I'm actually going to go about doing. So we've got 2 golden main reins. I've got 2 terrified pack mules. Now this one is kind of a weird one because this one's a 1/4 mil I spent on 2 of them. So that's 500,000 gold right there, just out of 2 mounts. Now the sell rates on them are pretty good, but I reckon that will go up in price because this one's the hardest to get of all of them, and a lot of people actually don't actively farm this one up because it's really hard to get a hold of. You'd much be better aimed at farming up like a Doom Scavenger or the Blood Feaster, because 9 times out of 10 you're probably going to get more Blood Feasters than you are a Terrified Pack Mule. So that is something that is to take into account. Now this one's super hard to get a hold of because some of the farms for this were nerfed, so that's why the price for this one's really quite high at the moment. So I've bought them out now in order to sell on for even more, for instance. Now, going on with that is Dune Scavenger. I was like, right, okay, we can get some Dune Scavengers. I spent 69,000 gold on them. That's pretty cheap. So I was like, okay, 5 of them, I'm okay with that, and we'll go with that. I reckon that this one's going to jump up to about 150,000 on my server specifically, probably roughly around that, and that is due to the fact that, obviously, what I stated, that the price will go up because not many people will be farming this stuff up. So I was like, okay, right. And then the same goes for the Blood Feaster. The Blood Feaster I actually bought at a nice deal. The min buyout for this is 20,000 gold. The market value is 18,000 gold, and I bought them for 14,000 gold each. So at the end of the day, this one's the cheapest of all of those mounts. So obviously I've bought them, and that's what I'm going to be doing. And any additional gold that I'll be actually getting a hold of, I'm actually going to be putting into mounts. I'm probably going to buy out more as and when I make more gold, and currently I will be doing some active raw gold farming or material farming in order to either stockpile and sell the remaining stuff that I don't want on the auction house. Say for instance the Fel Iron Ore one, I'll sell the Corium Ore and the Adamantite, and I'll keep hold of the Fel Iron Ore for my relics, and then I can make some gold through there. Any gold that we get till Shadowlands, I will then just put them into mounts. They're a very stable thing to actually put into because they hold their value quite well, and that is something that I do bear in mind. Obviously, we've got our Galliwix ATVs that we bought for a decent amount of gold. Overall, I reckon that the most profitable one will probably be the Gold Main Reigns for me. And that is due to the fact that at the moment its market value and min buyout is roughly around about 150,000. I bought them for 125,000. So even if I sold them now, I will make like 25k on top of that. So that's a nice investment on my part there, and hopefully we can get along with that. So the premise for this video is I spent a hell of a lot of gold on the chance on which this is going to pay off. Now obviously I'm not like some massive stockpiler that I can hold on to loads of stuff. We only have a few million to actually, like a million and a bit to actually invest into this. But I reckon that we could probably make off of those mounts as a nice sum total from 1.3 million. We could probably get to about 2 million. I reckon that is a very doable chance by the end of Shadowlands worth of mounts, and then we can resell them. The other thing I've noted I've actually been pondering on is setting out my garrisons for the Grumpus mount, because obviously when in Shadowlands all of that's going about, everyone's going to rush for the professions, for their leveling, for getting geared up for raiding. So I've taken the time now to set up all my garrisons so I can do the daily quests, because they take like a few minutes each day. I think it's about 5 minutes, give or take how crappy your character is, but to get them in of Grumpus from those savage gifts. So I've been thinking about that like ahead of time, so then I have a box every day, and that is through 10 characters. So then I've got 10 boxes I can open to get hold of Minion and Grumpus, and that will actually also is a mount as well, which I will hold on till later, probably around about January, February time, and then resell. Probably not the Minion and Grumpus in January, that will probably be a March sale, but when it comes to all the other mounts that we've actually purchased, we'll probably start selling them around about January time. So that is how I'm viewing it. I reckon that the prices will go up as and when January hits when it comes to all of that. So that is something that I will be bearing in mind. I actually haven't updated my TSM yet. Probably should. But other than that, that is pretty much what I've been wanting to talk about this week. To be honest, I was like, yeah, what can we do? And I was like, after I made that potential gold video, I was like, okay, I should probably actually do the same if I'm giving that advice. So then you know that I'm serious about it, really. So that is something that I am going into effect with that. So I've led by example, so to speak. So other than that, guys, that is pretty much all I've actually been up to, besides a bit of material flipping and all that jazz. Like 50,000 gold in our bags right now, just from material flipping. I've just been buying out like loads of cheap stuff and resetting it, and we can actually get onto that in the future. Like 50k, quite happy with that. I actually haven't checked my mailbox at all, so to speak. There's so many stuff that is on offer, so I've just been resetting loads of different material markets, and I've been making like a nice return every single day, like at least 20% return on every single material that I keep buying, at least. And that is just due to the fact of just scanning every material and then just buying them out up to a certain percentage point and then resetting. So that is something I have been doing, is just resetting all of that stuff right there. And we are currently back up to 74,000 gold. I will not be investing it into a mount just yet. I will be waiting till I get 100,000 in my bags steady. So like as when we logged in with the 23,000 gold, I will be doing that, and then I'll be reinvesting the difference into the material resettings, and then any other additional stuff from that 100,000 I will then buy a mount with that profit that is coming in, and that's how I'm going to be doing it. So realistically at the moment I'm just resetting markets and playing around with that. I have set up a function in TSM, an operation in TSM to do that, but I'm playing around with it, so unfortunately if it doesn't work out and I test it and I make a balls up, I don't want to just give it out straight up, because if I lose gold, I don't want you guys to lose gold. So I'd rather, if I'm testing something, that I'd rather lose the gold than you guys do if I just go, hey, here you go, you can go reset some markets. So that's what I'm doing right now, is just testing it out, see if I can make a profit. And it seems to be working at the moment, but it's probably going to take like another week at least to make sure that everything's properly working and all that jazz before I actually make it public. So other than that, guys, that is pretty much all I have to say for the day. Take it easy, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow. If you want to support the channel and help make the channel even better, then why not check out the Patreon? Members get additional info, gold making resources, and Patreon specific content. The link is located in the description down below. Thank you and have an awesome day.